Well, that's some Wednesday morning motivation for you there from Dale Carnegie. Basically, he's saying mistakes shouldn't make you stop. It should just propel you to look for better ways and more ways to get things done. All right, welcome to the conversation on TOS Television Network, your digital first Pan-African news network. And as always, the conversation is going to be very insightful, entertaining, and as well as engaging. My name is Adesuwa Osui. All right, so I move straight into stories and developments from across Africa, starting with this story here. It says a report released on Tuesday by independent investigators authorized by the World Health Organization to investigate claims of sexual abuse by the staff in the Democratic Republic of Congo cited clear structural failures and individual negligence. Personnel hired locally as well as members of international teams in the country to fight an Ebola outbreak from 2018 to 2020 were the committers of the abuse. Quite sad, that one. Moving away from that up to Chad. Allegations made in Parliament by one of Nigeria's senior Navy officers that soldiers from neighboring Chad were selling their weapons for $20 or $30, contributing to unrest in northern Nigeria, has been disowned by the Navy on Tuesday. The widely reported allegations were made by Commodore Jamila Abubakar Sadiq Malafa on Monday at a public hearing held by a committee of lawmakers. Away from Chad, Sudanese General Intelligence Service in a statement said 5 of its members were killed and a 6th was injured on Tuesday during the raid of a targeted cell linked to the militant Islamic State group in Khartoum. 11 suspects of different nationalities were arrested in the raid, with targeted several locations in the south of the capital, it said, describing them as foreign terrorists. That's quite sad. It's quite appalling to have to wake up every day and just hear different insurgents and security issues happening from around Africa, from Nigeria to Chad to Sudan. I hope we get all of this out of the way, really soon. All right, with that, we've come to the end of development across Africa. But before we go, I'm going to bring you COVID-19 update from across Africa. You do know COVID is real and you should do your part so you and the next person is safe. After that, I'll be bringing you the big story. Welcome back to the big conversation here on TOS Television Network. It's time to bring you the big story. But before then, follow TOS TV Network across all social media platforms. That's TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's TOS TV Network. You can also stream the conversation and other programs on www.tostvnetwork.com. It's about time we bring you the big story. And the focus today is on 2023 presidency, and we'll be analyzing the divide between northern and southern governors. And to help me do that today, I have a guest with me here in the studio. He's Mr. Mustafa Aliyu, and he's a risk and developmental strategist. It's good to have you here on the show.
Thank you for having me on the show.
All right, you're welcome. So moving straight into it, just recently, the governors of the 19 northern states rejected the position of their southern colleagues that the 2023 presidency should be zoned to the southern part of the country, arguing that the presidency is a democratic office and not a rotational one. What do you make of this?
I actually just made of the whole scenario going about the whole 23 presidency election is actually not in a good way, because it's more bringing is bringing more about the vision and not the unity of what this country is all about. We're known for a lot of things, and unity is supposed to be one of it. But right now, it's more like muscles are actually pulling up for who is more relevant and who is less relevant. So I feel it's not unhealthy, and I feel it's politics, and politics is supposed to be more of interest, and it's not supposed to be an audacious reasons for you to tell the other part of the country this is what you want, and the other part saying this is not what we want to do. So it's bringing about more division than ever before.
Okay,
Yeah.
but this stance, don't you think it just contradicts the purpose? Because they said the presidency, the office should be a democratic one, not a rotational one. But then again, the northern leaders are saying we cannot, recede power to the southern part of the country at this point. Don't you think that kind of contradicts the purpose?
Yeah, So I just feel like the political actors are trying to be relevant on this basic issue. The truth of the matter is politics as regards zoning, it's not backed by any constitution. So you have a lot of people trying to understand something, and that is if you really want to get into a particular position, you should be able to tell yourself that, okay, you want to get there, not minding who is from the zone or whatever. Because it's all about interest. Like I said, politics is all about interest. Let's kill the sentiment and let's be just about what is happening right now. Because the southern governors are actually just thinking about the rotational and trying to tell the northern leaders that, okay, we want this right here. And 2023 is going to be our time. And that is not how to go about it. To be fair to the northern leaders, you have to try your way to know how to be diplomatic. You have to try to know how you're going to get people on the other side of your divide so that they'll get to understand your ideology, they'll get to understand what it is that you're talking about. I know it's all about fairness. Yes, the North are always feeling like, yeah, they are the king of the North because they have the numbers, and politics is all about numbers. And let's let nobody deceive anyone. If the North are not going to be backing you, no matter wherever you come from, you're always going to get this point of, yeah, you really don't get that position of becoming the presidency, which is the first position of this country. So I think it's going to be more of them trying to understand that this is not a zoning issue. This is more of a political issue, an interest-driven issue, which is going to be more of diplomatic than just trying to get it all by force.
Okay, but if we're going to be sincere, we do know that the seat of presidency in Nigeria has not been diplomatic in a while. It has always been rotational. I think I can remember it being rotational. Oh, okay, the North is here now, the West is here now, so this time around it has to be the South. It has always been, that way. Personally, if we're going to be logical about it, personally, do you think that it should be rotational at this point? Since we've had somebody from the South, we've had somebody from the North, do you really think that it should actually maybe go to the West and or to the South at this point?
As a Nigerian,
yes,
I think it should be rotational.
Okay.
But as a politician, I think it should be more of interest. So you have a 2-point here, and one supersedes the other, because you actually can win an election without numbers, and you have people to be on your side. So you have to be diplomatic enough to be able to tell this other person, you need to be fair to our part, this region. There's a lot of separatists, there's lots of secessionists, there's a lot of division everywhere. So we can bring this more to the table other than to make it more like an underground diplomatic talks between these political giants. Let's let them have a talk, because the truth of the matter is the major 2 political parties we have in this country, we really don't actually know where they're going to be feeding us their candidacy from.
Yeah.
These are just talks, running up to the 2023 elections, because there are a lot of saying around, and in politics you can't really ridicule any saying, because right now we're seeing a move of APC trying to bring back Jonathan into the camp and trying to make him their candidate. And probably that's a speculation. Probably it's not true. Probably it might be true, because in politics anything is possible. So these are APC, and the other divide, PDP. You have the likes of Atiku, who has 1 or 2 scheming to see how he's going to get back the ticket, and he's a northerner. And you know that if you want to be true and you want to share this party into separate divides, you have more of the PDP governors from the south, and you have more of the APC governors from the north. So I'm just giving you an analogy of what it is politics is all about. But what is happening here is some group of governors divided by the north and the south. trying to show that you can actually just not tell us what to do.
Okay.
You just have to like be diplomatic enough to say, okay, you guys need to be fair. You need to be fair. Fairness is that, yes, there should be a rotation of presidency. Okay. I stand for that. Okay. But you don't have to get it by hash talking, you know, and forcefulness. You have to be diplomatic enough to let people understand your reasons of why you feel like, yes, everybody should have their turn.
All right. Okay, we're actually out of time. I want to get your opinion on this because I do know there's been a lot of secessionist movement, the IPOB, we have the Arewa Nation. Everyone wants the nation at this point.
Okay.
And you already spoke about a lot of things might cause disharmony, you know, as a nation. Unity is supposed to be the forefront, but that is also very well being threatened at this point.
Sure.
How do you think we can avoid, you know, anarchy in a minute, you know, with the 2023 election? Because I do know the Afenifere is saying if the North gets power at this point, it's going to be anarchy, you know, from the West and from the South. Sure. How do you think we can go about it to avoid getting to that point with the 2023 election?
It's actually going to be a process where our leaders need to understand that there are hearings of people who are crying out for some certain things, some certain power, some certain rights. And as a government, as a people in the government, you have your free will to actually ask for those rights. But forcefulness and going about it have a very big role to play in all of this. So where I'm going to is, we have been able to understand the basic reasons of why the unity of Nigeria right now is threatened. And that's because everybody needs to be true to themselves, to tell themselves like there's a lot of, how will I put it, segregation. There's a lot of nepotism at this point in time. Truly, yes. And I think this is the worst it have ever been before. And the Northerner being the like, more like the majority of the populace of people in terms of power and the voters and all what have you, should try to understand that a country like Nigeria was formed with all that it is right now, the unity, the togetherness and every other thing. They should try to show a very big sacrifice by trying to do all that they can do to be able to assure that this country gets to be as the same way preserved as it was back then when we got our independence. Because it's so very important. Because if the truth of the matter should be told, then definitely we should put fairness first. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mustafa, for joining me on the show this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right. And thank you to our viewers for joining us on the conversation this morning. Don't forget the conversation comes to you every weekday. That's from Mondays to Fridays. So I'm going to be back here tomorrow. But before then, follow TOS TV Network across all social media platforms. That's TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also subscribe to TOS TV Network on YouTube. You can also stream the conversation and other programs on www.tostvnetwork.com. My name is Adesu Elsuyi. Thank you for watching. Please remember to stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.